Hey, everybody. Welcome to Fire Talk, where we give you the latest news updates on Southeastern University athletics. I'm Ken Ingle, president of Southeastern University. Co-host is our director of athletics, Drew Watson. Hey, how you been?
Been good.
I've been gone for a while.
Yeah.
Week, two?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
It goes by so fast.
I can't remember the last show. I guess Valentine's Day was the last show we did. No, you weren't here last week.
I don't think so. Yeah, I was gone. No, I was gone for that too.
Yeah. Good to have you back.
Well, it's great
though.
to be back and catch up on everything happening in fire sports. And today, our guest is head wrestling coach Travis Patrick, and it's great to have you on the show. Excited about talking about the team, and I know it's a busy time for you near the end of the season, so I appreciate you taking time to join us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Actually, I brought you something. Here we got.
We love gear.
Wow.
Yeah.
He loves gear.
I love fire gear. This is awesome.
Yeah, we get jackets for our guys heading to nationals every year. So got the NAIA tournament logo
Sleeve.
on the little
Oh,
sleeve
that's
there for you.
cool. Thank you. This is great. I appreciate that very, very much. So I want to start out. Let's talk about what time it is.
It's playoff time, right? So, we just hosted the Appalachian Athletic Conference Championship this past weekend in the Furnace. Tell us what preparation for that tournament's like from a logistics and setup standpoint, and what the purpose of the tournament is.
Yeah, it's always a little bit different when you're hosting a conference tournament, postseason tournament like that. So guys are sleeping in their own beds, which some guys like talking to them afterwards. Some guys, man, I get to sleep in my own bed, eat my own food. And other guys like, man, I like being on the road a little bit more because I'm locked in and it feels a little bit more like competition. But a lot going into it, and luckily I have some good assistants and we have a great support staff to put it on. So we're focused on getting the guys down to weight, and I kind of let my assistants run practice a little bit while I do some of the admin stuff. And we borrowed a couple mats that let us put 3 mats in our gym instead of the 2 that we'd use when we hosted conference in the past. So borrowed a couple mats from Lake Gibson. So it was great for them to help us out. And then getting clocks and video review stuff that we don't typically do for a home duel that you need for a postseason event. So setting that stuff up was a lot, but it was good. And basically, the purpose of it's our national qualifier. So we'll get bids just based on how many guys are ranked in each weight. So like for instance, 125, there were 4 guys ranked in the country in the top 25. So we had 4 bids. 133, we only had 2, and so on. So you have to place top X number in your weight class to qualify for the national tournament. So we'll wrestle through there and award bids. And there's a few at-larges that came out yesterday.
And it's a pretty big deal, right? I mean, there's wrestlers all over the building. Right? How many wrestlers were in the tournament this weekend?
I think the number is like 120 or something like that. So there's 12 teams in our conference. You can take 12 guys from your team. So top 12 from your team come to the conference tournament. 1 in each weight class, and you can double up at some weight classes. And most teams brought 12. A few will bring less for various reasons.
Yeah. So let's talk about the team. How did they do over the weekend? Tell us how the day unfolded and who kind of punched their ticket to the NAIA Nationals.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day. I mean, I think any time in a conference tournament, especially when we got Life, who's ranked second, won national duels. Like they're a tough team, and they're in our conference. And Reinhardt, who's always, they're always top 10. So it's going to be a scrappy day. You're going to have to work your butt off, even if you're wrestling guys that aren't ranked. There's guys trying to steal the bid that one guy's earned it, another guy's trying to steal it. So I feel like our guys showed a lot of grit. We qualified 10 in what we'll call the front door by qualifying through the conference tournament. So I think all 10 of those guys were all conference, which is top 3, which is great. So Andrew Voiles made the finals at 133. Wrestled a tough match in the finals against a top 5 guy. 141, Cale Brisker made the finals, which is great. His 3rd time wrestling the conference tournament, 1st time making the finals. At 149, we had 2 guys in the finals, which is great. That's awesome anytime you can get an all Southeastern final. So I had Parker DeBrocchi and Chris Kelly. Chris Kelly winning in overtime over a guy that he's pretty evenly matched with in the semis, which is good. And then we had 2 at 57. Sal Silva made the finals, and Andreas Bond took 3rd. He almost knocked off the number 1 guy in the country in the semis, came up just short. Crazy match. Drew was sitting up there in his office watching it from the window, and it was a great match. Came down to the wire, and then he knocked off in the 3rd place match the 9th ranked guy who's ranked above him. So Trace Braun took 3rd in a loaded weight class as well. Graham Calhoun took 3rd, qualifying for his first time for us. John Roberts, true freshman for us, took second, which was great, punching his first ticket. And then Gabe Jacobs took second for us. That kind of rounds out our all-conference guys. And then yesterday, at-large bids came out, so we had 2 guys that didn't punch their ticket through the conference tournament. Trevor Borum and Gentry Smith both fell a little bit short on the day of, and they ended up getting awarded at-large bids. So we'll be taking all 12 guys to Wichita again.
That's great. Now, you mentioned life.
Yeah.
What you might not know is that when we host life, Dr. Ingle looks forward to that match in particular.
I do.
Because he appreciates, whether it's for us or against us, he appreciates good trash talk.
There's a lot of good trash talking then.
Yeah, I think one of your, I mean, I'm not sure if you've ever heard Coach Acosta say, "Get him a pillow."
It's like that's all he knows.
Can you explain "get him a pillow"? Like, is he talking about stalling?
I don't know if I heard him say it this weekend, but yeah, it's usually, I think it originated from one of the Brand brothers who coached at Iowa, where I think they kind of said it, where somebody's on bottom, they're not trying to work up. They're like, hey, yeah, get him a pillow. He's laying down there. He's looking pretty comfortable. And
So
might
he
as well take a
stole
nap.
it.
So, oh yeah, it's not original, but hey, you know, most things aren't, I guess. You know,
Now we got some
take it,
ammo to
make it
use
your
the
own.
next time he.
So.
You stole that.
Let me ask you this: how do you keep? I think you got a couple weeks before the big nationals.
We'll leave a week from today. We'll be
Okay,
heading out
how do you
there.
keep the team sharp and ready?
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, I think going the week into the conference tournament and then kind of that week and a half that we have, it can kind of feel like a holding pattern at times, and so you got to keep it fresh. You know, we started this week a little bit light. You know, guys are a little bit sore coming off a tournament like that, and so what we call spar and just kind of get a sweat, get your hands on the guys and get loose and you know, get a good lift in on Tuesday morning. So we lift a little bit heavier this week since we don't compete again till next week, and we'll just kind of undulate our training. So, you know, yesterday we got after it, went pretty hard. Today is going to be a little bit more individual, a little bit more kind of on your own, kind of getting what you need. And then we'll string 3 good days together, training on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, getting some matches in. And then, yeah, next week's just, you're not going to get in better shape. You're not going to get stronger.
Yep.
You know, you're not going to learn any new technique. It's just kind of sharpening up what you're good at, getting the guys mentally where they need to be, confident in what they do well.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot. We've won 4 individual national championships in wrestling in the past 3 years. 2 in 21, 1 in 22, and 1 in 23. None of those 4 guys was favored to be on the top of the podium
For sure.
for a national champion. Who would you say this year, as you look at the roster, you know, who's maybe that dark horse that could end up there if things fall right for him?
I mean, I think brackets will come out. Tomorrow evening. So I guess I'll be able to answer your question a lot better then. But you know, I think we have a lot of guys that, you know, we go in with the mentality of, man, we're chasing. You know, we're not wrestling from an kind of a perspective of, man, we're holding on to anything. Nobody has an All-American plaque right now. Nobody's going into that tournament already an All-American. So we're seeing how high we can climb. You know, we're at this point, you know, we're trying to be in the top 8 guys that are wrestling on Saturday and hopefully wrestling Saturday night at 7 o'clock. So we have a handful of guys that are ranked, you know, top 5 and you know, as Bond and Kirkham showed 3 years ago, I think they were both ranked 18th or so and got it done. So I think a lot of our guys have the ability, you know, whether it's Andreas Bond, who I just mentioned. I mean, you know, he showed on Saturday that when he's on, he can wrestle with anybody in the country. And so, you know, Sal Silva was 5 seed last year and got it done, and he'll be sitting around the same. And, you know, Gabe Jacobs is going to be top 5. Parker Rocky, Cale Brisker are going to be top 5. Like, and then other guys that are outside of that, like, they can all wrestle. It's just who's going to show up on that day and upset somebody, you know?
Well, you just alluded to something that you know, Dr. Ingle has. I've heard him say, you want to stay on the offense. You know, you don't want to sit back. You know, and in wrestling, you can do either one, but you can't do both. You can't kind of wait for the guy to make a move, but also be in an aggressive offensive mindset. So I really appreciate that about your perspective. And you know, we're going into this thing hungry.
For sure.
And I think the experience. You know, I think about someone like Cale. This is his 3rd time there.
Yeah.
You know, you learn a lot the first 2 years, and hopefully he's able to go on the offense and get some things done.
Yeah, guys like him are, you know, he is an offensive guy. So, you know, we'll be tactical when we need to be tactical, and sometimes when guys try to slow him down, we got to work on opening him up a little bit. But that comes to game plan when we need to.
Yeah.
So I think with the way the national tournament structured this year with the 3-day national tournament, really if you're on the top side, you're going to wrestle once a session. So allows us just to focus on that one match, get through that, and then we'll game plan for that next guy and look down the road. But I think it hopefully will allow our guys to be even more kind of present where they're at instead of looking too far down the road.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, Coach, we thank you for your leadership, man. You have taken the wrestling team to a new level, and we're excited about what you're doing and how you're leading strong, and we're looking forward to the national tournament. We'll be praying for safe travels and great success.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks for joining us today. All right, Peterson & Myers takes pride in the accessibility of their experienced attorneys and in the thoughtful and innovative manner they solve problems for clients. In addition to legal skills, Peterson & Myers are personally and deeply involved in the communities in and around Polk County. Peterson & Myers, PA, an official partner of Fire Athletics. Well, Drew, once again, our track and field teams are Sun Conference champions.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we hear that now all the time, pretty
Yes.
regularly now. Both the men's and women's teams claimed the conference indoor titles over the weekend for the 4th straight year. We've never not won this event.
Yeah, it's 4th year of indoor track and field. There has been no other champion except for Southeastern men's and women's track. So really proud of them, proud of Coach Dotson. I think what was most impressive is how many season best marks came in this meet in the conference championship. There were 9 season best marks over the weekend. Mimi Mendez was the most outstanding performer on the women's side with the season best times in the 60 meters, 60 hurdles, and the 4x400 relay. Davian Worrells had a big day on the men's side with the number 6 time in the NAIA in the 400 and helped the 4x400 team post its 3rd fastest time in the NAIA this year. Also, Kyle Manuel posted the 2nd best shot put mark.
Wow.
I mean, which is impressive. I mean, that's a pretty heavy ball to throw 58 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are amazing.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. What's next for the teams?
Well, some will be participating in a meet at UCF this weekend,
Okay.
while the others get ready for nationals, which start a week from tomorrow in Brookings, South Dakota.
Oh, wow.
It's actually supposed to be very warm there at 53, 56 degrees there in South Dakota. That has not always been the
heat
case.
wave.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's excellent. That's going to be exciting to watch. Now let's turn to baseball. It's not often we talked about Fire baseball losing back-to-back games,
Yeah.
but
Not often at all, but the loss Friday was to 9th-ranked Taylor, the 9th-ranked in the NAI, which they finished 6th at the World Series last year. And yesterday was against top-ranked Division II team in Tampa.
yeah, and they're ranked number 1 in the nation. Right?
Number 1, yep.
Yeah, so it's the 2 number 1s.
Yeah,
Or are we still number 1?
we are still number 1.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Even with the loss.
Even with the loss.
Well, that's good. It seems like it was a pretty good game. I mean, a respectable score was like, what, 10-7?
10-7, and you have to give the guys a lot of credit. We fell down 7-0 in that one. I'm sorry, 8-0 in that one, and fought back. Kind of woke up. I think a game of that magnitude. I mean, it was cold. It was in the mid 50s last night, windy. But we struggled offensively. But in the 5th inning, scored 7 runs to cut it to 1 run. Got some good at bats, drew some walks, a couple key hits. Just nice to get the offense going late.
Yeah, that's good. It's kind of like seems like their MO at times. They fall early, but then they come roaring back and capture the win.
Yeah, I think this year's team, if you talk to Coach Dinkle, who we're going to have on here in the show, in the next couple of weeks, he's predictably talks about his team as if they're the last ranked team in the NAI. He's the term sandbagger.
Yep.
So he's famous for that. But his teams continue to shine. I think he would say, the offense. The offense has some proving to do as far as consistency. I think he's really excited about his pitching staff.
Now they're up again this weekend. Tell us a little bit about that.
Next Friday. Next on Friday is number 20 Point Park. Friday afternoon, then a doubleheader against Sagu.
Is that the Sagu? I think it is.
That is Southwest Assemblies of God University.
Wow, making the trek all the way to Lakeland.
Yeah, starting at noon. So 2 at noon against Sagu, our friends from Texas.
Yeah. What are they ranked, by the way? Do we know?
I don't think they're ranked.
They're not ranked.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, should be a good weekend of baseball, so come out and check it out.
Now, do you call their president when something like this happens and put a little friendly wager, like some Florida seafood for some Texas?
I haven't done that, but, that's a thought,
Maybe he watches the show.
Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, Kermit, if you're listening, I might give you that phone call. No, it should be a good, fun weekend of competition, and look forward to it. Let's talk about men's basketball. They bounced back on Saturday with a win at Coastal Georgia, down to their last 2 games of the regular season to fight really through a log jam in the entire conference standings.
Yeah, we're currently seeded 5th. There's a tie there with Weber, but we have the tiebreaker there. This is a big game tonight and a possible conference quarterfinal preview, depending on how things go this week and the rest of the conference. If we win tonight, we could end up hosting Florida Memorial again next Tuesday.
Okay.
A loss tonight, and we could be at Florida Memorial next week. So a lot riding on this one.
So what would be the breakdown for this week?
Well, we're 10-3 at home this season.
Okay.
So that should bode well for us. We didn't shoot that well last time we played Florida Memorial, so hopefully we can get the offense going, come away with a win, then give our seniors a win on Saturday over Warner.
Yeah, Warner, and looking forward to that as well.
Yep.
So come out to the Furnace to check out those games. And then women's basketball. Women's basketball team rebounded from a loss to St. Thomas by beating Coastal Georgia on the road on Saturday, 62-48.
Yeah, good road win, as you said. Big one coming off a tough loss to St. Thomas. Maya Herman, Cassidy Jones each had 12. Kiki Brightsman had 10 to lead the team in scoring.
Yeah. What's next?
Like with the men, the team finishes the regular season this week at home. Florida Memorial first up tonight at 5:30. We beat them down at their place a few weeks ago. Then Warner on Saturday at 5 p.m. here in the Furnace. Big week. There's a 3-way tie for first place on the women's side. Us, St. Thomas, and Ave Maria. So some huge games being played to determine top seed.
Yeah, should be some exciting basketball this week in the Furnace, so everybody get out and support the teams.
For sure.
Softball, where the team split a doubleheader on Friday, beating New College of Florida 7-1 in Game 1, but dropping the second game to Florida National 4-2.
Yeah, we hit well in the first game of the day, but had a hard time scoring in the second. A three-run home run by Florida National late in the game ended up being the difference in a 4-2 loss.
Yeah, we get back to action tomorrow, right?
Yes, the team hosts Grandview University in a doubleheader. Then doubleheaders both Friday and Saturday against British Columbia. Of course, if you remember, Grandview was a team that was in town when one of their players ruptured her Achilles tendon, and we carried her around the bases, which led to a lot of national coverage. And, of course, us being so proud of those players for doing that act of sportsmanship.
Yeah, no, that was so special to see that happen. In other events this weekend, it's our annual Red, Black, and Boom clay shoot on Saturday, and I believe we have the most teams ever, right?
We do. And so, that's out at Tenor Rock Shooting Range. Great cause, Fire Athletics. So if you're interested, you can email me at dwatson@seu.edu. But it's $250 for an individual, $1,000 for a team, and then $1,500 golf cart and sponsored sign, plus 4 shooters as a corporate gift.
Yeah,
so.
and there's lots of the incredible gifts that you give away. I've been a part of it some, and it's always exciting to see all that.
Yeah, Darcy does a great job. Yeah. Darcy Roberts does a great job with that event.
And again, events like this help to raise money for athletics, and of course, we're always wanting to grow, expand. Mm-hmm. A lot of people may not know, but we have 36 acres over off Highlands, and we really want to develop that and build some great athletic space there. Mm-hmm. And it's events like this that help contribute towards that.
Yeah, absolutely. We encourage you to come out. If you're not signed up, sign up and join us. It's a great event.
Well, Drew, that's a wrap for today. Make sure you get out, support the basketball teams tonight and Saturday. Softball and baseball play Friday and Saturday as well. And,
make sure you visit sufire.com for the latest news in fire athletics. You can also find the event calendar, which is a great centralized resource to look at our schedule, as well as a link to watch all of our home games for free. Yeah. So good luck to all of our teams this week.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us for the show today. Take care and go Fire.
Go Fire.